Getting tired or irritated from this kind of notification? Saying that your operating system is not genuine or activated? A free operating system. Yes, my friends, a free operating system for your computer. What is this free operating system? And why is it free? Would it be a replacement for Microsoft Windows? But before we continue, if you are new to this channel and interested in this kind of videos, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you'll be updated for future uploads. I'm uploading 1 to more videos a week. And if anything you want me to tell you about computers or research, comment it down below this video. Thank you very much. What is this free operating system? There are a lot of free operating systems. I will show you the one close enough to Microsoft Windows. This operating system is called Ubuntu. Yes, my friends, Ubuntu is a free operating system based on Linux distribution. Ubuntu has a desktop environment, which was specifically designed to feel familiar to Windows users. That is why I feature this free operating system in this video. Like I said that there is a lot of free operating system, but I cannot tackle them all. Where does Ubuntu come from? Ubuntu is one of several Linux distributions. The source code that makes up the Ubuntu Linux distribution originates from another, much older Linux distribution known as Debian. Debian was started by two people named Deborah and Ian. Debian is still a widely respected operating system but came under criticism for infrequent updates and less than user-friendly installation and maintenance. A South African internet mogul who made his fortune selling his company to VeriSign for around $500 million decided it was time for a more user-friendly Linux. He took the Debian distribution and worked to make it a more human-friendly distribution which he called Ubuntu. He subsequently formed a company called Canonical Limited to promote and provide support for Ubuntu Linux. Also, Shuttleworth has formed and funded to the tune of $10 million a foundation to guarantee the future of Ubuntu. The rest, as they say, is history. Where did he get the word Ubuntu? Ubuntu is an ancient Zulu and Xhosa word which means humanity to others. Ubuntu also means I am what I am because of who we all are. It was chosen because these sentiments precisely describe the spirit of the Ubuntu Linux distribution. This is a brief history of where Ubuntu came from, my friends. What is Ubuntu? Ubuntu, my friends, is a complete Linux operating system, freely available with both community and professional support. The Ubuntu community is built on the ideas enshrined in the Ubuntu Manifesto, that software should be available free of charge, that software tools should be usable by people in their local language and despite any disabilities, and that people should have the freedom to customize and alter their software in whatever way they see fit. Ubuntu is suitable for both desktop and server use. Now, Ubuntu is a user-friendly operating system that is similar to what mostly we use Microsoft Windows. Wondering why this operating system is free? Ubuntu is a FOSS or free and open source software. FOSS programs are those that have licenses that allow users to freely run the program for any purpose, modify the program as they want, and also freely distribute copies of either the original version or their own modified version. The software licenses are free software and always will be. Free software gives everyone the freedom to use it wherever they want and share with whoever they like. The benefits of this freedom are huge. At one end of the spectrum, it enables the Ubuntu community to grow and share its collective experience and expertise to improve continually. On the other, they can give access to essential software for those who couldn't otherwise afford it, an advantage that's keenly felt by individuals and organizations all over the world. The open source community is thriving and today boasts some of the best brains in the business. The aim has not changed. Free systems and software should be available to everybody, wherever they are. Without open source, many of the systems and applications we take for granted would not exist. All the big players in computing come from our huge creative debt, the open source, and continue to rely on its talent and expertise when developing new products. In the spirit of open source, Ubuntu is free to download, use, share, and improve, however, and whenever you like. My friends, now you know why Ubuntu is free. Would this free operating system, Ubuntu, could replace Microsoft Windows? Well, it's for you to decide after you finish this video. Ubuntu includes the very best in translations and accessibility infrastructure that the free software community has to offer to make Ubuntu usable by as many people as possible. Ubuntu has thousands of pieces of software and covering every standard desktop application from word processing and spreadsheet applications to internet access applications, web server software, email software, programming languages and tools, and of course several games. Yes, my friends, many users who have recently switched to Ubuntu from Microsoft Windows or any other operating system face the dilemma of finding the best alternative to application software they have been using for years on their previous OS. Ubuntu has thousands of free-to-use and open-source application softwares that perform way better than many paid softwares on Windows and other OS. Ubuntu can get infected by malware, but the chances of getting infected are lower. Some people have critical software that doesn't work on Ubuntu. There are vulnerabilities in Ubuntu, like any other software. If I were to install and use infected software and give it administrator rights, I would be in deep trouble. Thankfully, there are many security updates and patches for Ubuntu. The first and easiest step to keeping your system secure is to always stay up to date. Most major commercial Windows software tools also have open-source equivalents. However, getting your gaming fix on Linux systems has been a major chore. That is why an OS like Ubuntu has developed a reputation as only being suitable for non-gaming uses. If that's your current impression of gaming on Ubuntu Linux or Linux in general, it's time to re-examine your prejudices. While no one can argue that gaming on Linux is just as good as Windows, that's not the same as saying it's bad. While gaming on operating systems like Ubuntu is better than ever and viable, it's not perfect. Apart from game-specific bugs and limitations, there's a general performance penalty as well. That's mainly down to the overhead of running non-native games on Linux. Also, while driver performance is better, it's not quite as good compared to Windows. It's also still a little more work getting games to run. So if you get a cold sweat from the idea of messing around in various menu settings or reading a few online guides to get your game running, Ubuntu gaming, in general, may not be quite there for you yet. Then again, being a Windows PC gamer also involves messing with settings and reading the occasional guide, so perhaps things aren't that different. In the end, this is a great time to give Ubuntu a try without fear that you'll have nothing to play when work is done for the day. It costs nothing but time and, who knows, you might end up liking it more than you think. Now you know. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. This is Jome Comp. Thank you very much.